Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to do a bit of a run through with my kit that I took on my recent trip up into the Cairngorms. It's about 3 weeks ago now. We went from the south, from the Linathy car park, travelled through some spectacular scenery through the glens, the Larry Grew, up to the Cora Bothy, ascended up to Devil's Point, took in some views, came back. And yeah, we spent the night in the Cora Bothy. It was a 20-mile trek expedition. Yeah, the expedition wouldn't have been possible if it wasn't for some of the kit that I'm about to show you. Do you like the video? Drop us a comment, hit the like button, and consider subscribing. Hit the bell notification as well, so that you stay up to date with all of my hiking, camping, and review videos as well. Right, without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so I'll start with the boots. I have done a little bit of an overview on these boots before, but yeah, the La Sportiva Equilibrium LT Gore-Tex. They kept my feet really warm, feet weren't wet. I've done hundreds of miles in these things now. Yeah, I've been into the Pyrenees, the Cairngorms, been in really cold conditions with them, but they're perfectly fine for deep snow, prolonged periods of deep snow. So yeah, I'd recommend those. The next item is the Through Dark mountain socks. These are quite thick. They go just below the kneecap. Yeah, perfect sort of combination with the socks and the boots. So I'd recommend those. The next item is the sack. Well, they're not boxes. They're more like long legs, and they go just above the kneecap. They're quite expensive, but they keep the important parts nice and warm, if you catch my drift. Crampons are the Grivel AirTech Lights. The AirTech Lights are 400 grams lighter than the traditional steel crampons. These are actually made out of aluminium. Highly rated, recommend them. In terms of base layers, I've got the Rob Conduit base layers. So that's the Rob Conduit. It's got like a fleece lining. I don't know if you can see that. It's like fleecy inside, and then yeah, the same on the bottoms as well. So that's like the sort of the base layer that goes over the layer I've just shown you. So on top of that, the Fjallraven Keb trousers, the Eco Shells. So this is like this is a 3-layer trouser, and it's got built-in gaiters as well. So the gaiters, it's a little bit of a hook there. The gaiters just go straight into the boot. I actually use the Raab sort of what are these called? The suspender things. Plus I've got like carabiners. Bit of a unorthodox route, but yeah, it really helps. So carabiners plus the Raab ones, and yeah, that keeps them up and keeps the snow out. Soft shell. So never really worn a soft shell before, but this is the Raab Guide soft shell. Got a fleece line to it, and it's water repellent on the outside. It's not waterproof. I just wore this the whole time. I didn't even wear my hard shell at any point. The snow just kind of pinged off this, and it's super breathable. So yeah, it's the soft shell from Raab. This is probably one of the best things that I took on the trip. Got the Fjallraven Eco Shell, which you can see in most of my videos, and this is a 3-layer hard shell, obviously to put on if it got even more extreme. So that's kind of like the clothing setup. This is my helmet. It's a Black Diamond Vision MIPS. Good for avalanche, the way it's designed. I don't know too much about the technology, but it's very light, and I wore that on the ascent up to Devil's Point. Black Diamond Vision MIPS. Got the Grivel Ghost Evo. I didn't actually take the leash with me. I forgot. My mate John, that you saw in the video, he reminded me that yeah, you need a leash. So I've got the leash now. Happy days. The caps here are from Climbing Technology. Really good caps. So I'd recommend the Climbing CT. It's sometimes known as, but yeah, the Climbing Technology caps are awesome. I think they're the best ones you can get. I took the Expedition 3 poles. You'll notice I've got caps on the end. it's really important to have the caps if we can get them off, just because they're good obviously for biting into the terrain, but these are actually part of my my shelter system. So with the MSR front range, top right corner you can have a look at the front range if you want, but yeah, these kind of bind together and form the structure to the tarp. With the snow skirts on here, they really help me get through the snow. So if you're going out into the mountains and it is snowy, I'd recommend that you go for a really wide, I think they're called snow skirts, I can't remember, I might be wrong. But yeah, I'd recommend the wide. You can see how wide they are, just they increase the surface area, so it helps you travel through snow. In this dry bag, which was on the outside of my pack, is a footprint and the pyramid tarp from MSR, the MSR front range. This only weighs about 1 kilogram all in, which is really good. And this was the emergency shelter that we were going to have to sleep in if there was no space in the bothy. I did actually put that in the comments recently. If you are going up to any bothy, if you just sort of have at the back of your mind, there might not be space in the bothy. So if that's the case, if you've got a spare tent, so recommended. Got the THERMAREST XTHERM, and then I've got Trekology Aluft pillow Deluxe. The reason I like the Trekology ones, they have like a strap that goes around the mat, and for some reason most other branded pillows don't have the strap, which I can't get my head around because the pillow just falls off in the night. But I always get a good night's sleep if I'm using the Trekology. So yeah, that's like my pad. Also, this is just like a really light foam pad as well, just in case it popped. I recently picked this up off eBay. It's like an aluminium. It's 100 grams. It just provides a little bit of heat reflection. So what I'm going to do in future is combine these two underneath my mat. The reason I have that is just for protection, but also if I do puncture my mat, at least I've got something left behind. But these two items at a couple 100 grams, I think it's worth it. So that's kind of like my sleep system. These are some pegs I've got. So I've got the MSR Groundhog, so I've got 10 of them. I've just kind of put a load of gaffer tape at the bottom here and put them in like a sandwich bag. A bit of an improvised bit of kit there. And I've got some Delta tags as well. These bad boys. Obviously they go in like that. So you can put your guy line into that. So it's just if it got super windy. I've got 4 of them. That's my pegs. Sleeping bag is the Simmond MAKALU 2 from Decathlon. It's 1500 grams. It's a -9 comfort, and it costs like 200 quid. In comparison, you're looking at maybe £400, £500, £600 for similar stats on that. Maybe a little bit lighter, but I just don't think it's worth it for the weight. So I'd recommend Simmond from Decathlon. This is a Bivvy. It's a RAB 250 gram Bivvy. It's like a sleeping bag protector / Bivvy. It's more of an emergency Bivvy. That just sits outside the bag. Inside the bag, I've also got a liner. It's made out of silk. That's about 140 grams or something, 160 grams. And that will add another 2 degrees of comfort. And that's, yeah, I mean, it can't really show you properly on this video, but this sleep system for me was it was too warm. Prepared for the worst. I'd rather be too warm than too cold. But yeah, that sleep system was absolutely awesome. I'd recommend it. And then this is just like a huge 100 litre Osprey dry bag. And some of you might be thinking, wow, that's absolutely huge. But you can just compress it all the way down with the Bivvy, and it just sits at the base of the bag. This is actually really good bit of kit. This is like a Nalgene canteen, weighs next to nothing. You can fit a litre in there, and I just scooped up a litre of water from the river and just took it from the river to the bothy, so I recommend that. This is just like a Life Ventures pop out little mug. It's about £6, it weighs about 40 grams, so I put my coffee in that. Cheetah Summit X something or other, kettle sort of thing. To be honest, I'd probably just take this with me next time instead of the Toaks stove I've got. So I've got the Toaks stove and the gas and everything inside. If you want to check out this one, it's top right corner for this. I can show you what's inside that. But next time, I think I'm just gonna take that, because look how narrow that is. So this is just like a wind guard I didn't really need. What have I got in there? What's this? Oh, that's just like a Gore-Tex patch. You can just pick them up from Cotswold Outdoors. It's like a fabric patch. Don't know why that's in there. And then that's a pocket fire kit that you can get on Amazon. You can see that. A tourniquet, which is very rare that you'll need a tourniquet, but got a tourniquet there. If you don't know what a tourniquet is, it's if you've got a wound where the artery's pumping the blood out, you'll obviously need to put one of these on to stop the blood, but only in worst case scenario, because if you do put that on, you lose your arm or you lose your leg, more than likely. So it's a bit of a last resort if you can't stop the bleeding. This is just like a little trowel on Amazon. It's about, I think it's about £13, just to dig a little hole if you need to go. Sawyer Squeeze. So this is the water filter that I take everywhere with me. The mini one's not great. I'd recommend the Squeeze. The Squeeze is the larger one. To take this with me, I just like had this in the hostel, but this is for weight. So I always sort of measure the weight and figure out whether I can take some stuff out or not. What brand is it? Free 2 or something? It's like an Amazon one, not expensive. Silver compass and a map. It's a waterproof map. So the map just sat in the back of the chest pod. So that's the chest pod. Just sat there to whip it out if we needed to. This is first aid kit. So I've got a dry bag, and then within the dry bag I've got Ziploc sandwich bags to make sure everything's dry. I don't know about you, but I wouldn't want to put a wet plaster on. I wouldn't want to have wet and mushy ibuprofen. Some other stuff, expedition foods, dessert, that really cheered me up. And the adventure food breakfasts that you can get with hot water again, that really cheered me up as well. I'd recommend the hot water ones over the sort of the pre-hydrated ones that you sort of boil in the bag, don't you? I don't think they're very tasty, those. I prefer the ones that are dehydrated. Plus, I think they're lighter more often than not.